Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another Facebook Live. I'll just check that I'm online because let's face it, it's no good sitting here talking to you if you don't know I'm on live. So, yep, I'm here by the look of it, and that's the main thing. And get that correct so I can see your comments. You know how it is. Shows that I'm on, but there we go. That's got it. Now I can see the comments. So anyway, if you're on live, you will see up the top the little red live button. So you know that I'm live. And if you're watching the replay, please let me know that you've watched because I'd like to say thank you. Anyway, for those who don't know me, my name's Anita Mazzero and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria. Now, I will turn the camera down and we will have a look at a couple of things that I've got to tell you, and then let's get stuck into our card making. So we'll just flick the button and we will go down. There we go. I hope I've got that right. Yep, let's get it straight because we do not want a crooked camera. There is nothing worse. Okay, you didn't want to see my legs, did you? No. For the month of July, we have our bonus days. So for every $90 that you spend from now till the 31st of July, you will receive a coupon for $9 to spend in August. Hello, Jacinta, having lunch at work. You sold many of those beanies? Yeah, so you'll get a voucher. So if your order's, over 100 and over 90, you'll get one. If you get an order that's over 180, you will get two. If you get an order over 270, you'll get three. And it goes on like so forth. So you will get those $9 coupons, which you will then get to redeem in August. Now, when you place your order, make sure your email is correct because it will be emailed to you. So your little coupon, which is a set of numbers, will be emailed to you for you to use. And you use them in August. So if you're concerned that you might lose them or whatever, I will be happy to discuss with you a way of keeping them in a safe place. So then when August comes around, off we go spending again for the whole month of August to the 31st of August, and you will have your bonus coupons. Now, if you have more than one coupon and you're putting it into your, where it says to apply coupon, make sure you have a space between the numbers, otherwise it's not going to recognise it. So that's the big thing that's happening at the moment. And it's also for demonstrators, so if you're thinking of joining, you can join. You won't get anything from your starter products, but you will for any orders that you replace after that. So then we've got online exclusives. We've got a great lot of new bundles out at the moment on the online. There is, did show you how the lovely, get it right because I always say it wrong, Season of Green and Gold. Now this is a lovely suite that is not just Christmas, because I demonstrated it and you will see back that I did do one using it in colours. It comes with two stamp sets. One's just imagery and dies. The other, the bundle is sayings, but then all of them are tags, which it's wonderful. And you can cover the little knot by putting your bow there or whatever so that it hides. The gems are little 3 berry gems or single ones. Beautiful satin ribbon. There's another set called Everyday Greetings. Beautiful fonts on that one. Then we have our autumn or Iconic Celebrations, get the right word. That's the name of the paper. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of different papers covering all sorts of things. Champagne glasses, hearts, fireworks, stars. There's some Christmassy ones. There's some birthday ones. There's a bit of everything. And then the back sides are something you can use for something else. And the stamp set, or the bundle, is absolutely lovely. Beautiful stamp sets for all works. I love the word celebration in this one. It's on my wish list. And I also like this particular die. I think that die is just beautiful. And again, Stampin' Up have done it again. They're doing it more and more. We're getting dies where you can just with one pass cut out a whole heap of small images. Some beautiful pecan and clear ribboned dots. Now, I haven't seen them, but I've heard that it looks like a piece of ribbon inside it. And then there's a white frayed ribbon that's available in that bundle. Then we have the Changing Leaves bundle. And I've ordered this one. This comes with your stamp set. Oh, look at the back of that one. Comes with a stamp set with these beautiful leaves. A hybrid embossing folder. Boy, that was good trying to get it all out in one. That you can cut and emboss your paper at the same time. And then you've got just your die. So that's one whole little bundle. So that's fabulous to get. So that's just some of the ones that we're getting today that are available. And I've got one on order that's there, which I might be able to show you next week if I get it back in time. I only placed it this morning, so if I get it back in time and we can get it to play with it, we will do that. So today I've got the catalogue, and as promised, if you remember, if you were here last week, you would have seen me make this card from our beautiful little bundle, which I've fallen in love with, which is the Hearts and Hugs bundle. And I did say to you, because I only had an hour before we came live to do something with it, I only managed to get this done. So let's play with it today. And I've had a bit of a play. I've had a lot of fun. They are gorgeous little animals that are on there. I'll just move that out of the way. They're absolutely beautiful little animals, easy to colour. And I only thought of this 5 minutes ago. This would be something you could put on a card for a child, and you could put a packet of coloured pencils with it. You'd only have to stamp the imagery, and then they could go and colour it in. So you could make it just very standard for them, and then they can have a field day. Just a great set. It's a cling set, so it's lovely. Now, when you get it, it comes all in the red rubber, but these little centerpieces need to be taken out, and the same out of the one I'm using today. But don't throw them away, because to me they make great backgrounds. Just saying. So I'm going to use the little badgers, or whatever they're, raccoons or whatever you like to call them. So it's a cute little set, and the sayings are nice and small if you like small sayings. And then the dies are just lovely. So you've got this lovely arch of hearts, which is what I used on this card to create those hearts. Great way to work. Then you've got the images for the animals. Then you've got some standalone dies. You've got 2 dies, or 3 dies for the flowers. You've got 2 dies for hearts, which also can be used as flowers. And then your little flower stand, and then you've got your banner. So that's all the dies that come with it. So if you're looking for this particular set and you're not sure where it is, it's on page 61 of the catalogue. So there we go. And you can see how it cuts out the die. So the stamp set is $44. The dies are $53. But if you buy it as a bundle, you will only pay let me just find the right figure. 87.25. I nearly gave you the New Zealand one. Thought it was a bit expensive. But as you can see, if you look here in the catalogue, and remember your catalogue is your inspiration. Hello, Cherry. How are you this afternoon? So look, there's the little hearts and flowers in a die. So how cute's that? So that's your inspiration for it. So that's the one that we're going to use today. So I've got a card in mind, and I thought we'd cut from the beginning. And the reason I decided to do this, because this particular card fold needs to be different to a standard card. So I've got a piece of Shy Shamrock, and normally when we cut a card, we go this way, we score this way and cut this way. But this time I'm wanting to cut this way, and I'm going to cut first because the pieces will be the whole, we'll use all this paper. So I'm going to cut this at 10.5 centimetres. Then I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to score at 15.9. So I've got my centre score. Then I'm going to take it to 7.5. And I am then going to cut. So there's my card. So I'll fold that in place, make sure it's nice and square. Get my bone folder. And you can make 2 cards out of 1. So we'll pop that out of the way. And there are our 2 pieces. This piece is going to go like so. So it's a card that you can do, whether it's a portrait or landscape, you can do this with both. If you did it with landscape, you'd probably go that way. So that's our card base. Now I've got a piece of basic white, and we're going to cut our first layers. So we're going to cut, I'm going to take a piece, cut down at 10 centimetres. Make sure I've got it nice and straight. Oops, that's really smart. I'm going to pop out of the thing. So 10 centimetres. I'm going to rotate to 14.4, so it's 0.5 centimetres smaller than the layer. Take that out. So that then becomes the layer there. Now I need to cut 2 pieces at 7.5. So we know that this is 10 centimetres across. So I'm just going to turn it around and cut 7.5. And this piece should be 7.5. Probably not, because I didn't cut the bottom off. So it's just a fraction off. So we'll just take that smidgen off, because we are going smaller. So really that's the amount that we are going smaller all around the card. So by taking that amount off the top and the bottom, we have got the card. So there are 2 white pieces. So I don't need that anymore. So then I've gone and taken our In Colour Designer Series paper, and they're in all 5 in colours, and I've taken the Shy Shamrock. I've taken 2 of the pieces. So as you can see on this side, you've got leaves, you've got a subtle, and you've got stripes, and you've got circles. So 2 pieces will do what we need. So I'm wanting the circles, the stripe, teeth back in. I'm wanting the circles to go, the stripes to go, I've got circles on the brain. I'm wanting the stripes to go this way. So I know I need to measure this one at 13.9. I might go this way first instead. So I'll cut this at 9.5. Because I'm going to trim that. I'll keep that all in one piece because I can use that for something else. And then I'm going to turn that around at 13.9. So there's my piece, and that is going to layer in there. And I've got a white piece. Then I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to measure this at 9.5. and I'm going to trim. Take that piece away. And then I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to cut it at 6.5. And I'm going to cut it twice, because I'm going to use that for the top. Oh, you can't. Here I am putting it over here, and I realise you can't see what I'm doing it. I'll cut this piece, and then I'll show you properly again all of the pieces. Keep forgetting the camera does not reach where my arms reach. So as you can see, there's our card base. We've got a layer for the inside. And then we've got a layer for that. And I've still got to cut one more piece of white. So then for the front, we're going to put a piece of white. That looks a little bit large. Check that again. You know what I've done? I cut them at 7.5. Thank goodness I'm checking, because they needed to be smaller, because that is only 7.5. So I need to cut it at 7. So I'm just going to put it back. Could not work out why it was too big. There we go. That's what I needed. So I'll trim this one down to match, to measure at 6.5. I think I've totally stuffed that one up. It's all right. We will do another piece. I don't know where my brain was when I was doing that one. I went to 6.5 instead of to 7. How silly was that? This is why I normally cut out at off camera. We said about 10. I'll just trim that to 10 centimetres. And that's my piece there. So while I've got the piece out, I will cut out the other layer I need, which is 10.5 by 7.5. So that should be just a piece there. That's 7.5. Make sure that's 10. That's 10.5. Sorry, that's what I needed. 10.5. I've just got a smidgen to take off. And that is going to be our piece on the... There it is. So our inside pieces will be those two, plus this. Then we've got, after all that mucking around, we've got that, and I'm going to have this piece sitting here. Then on this piece that's going to go here, I'm going to have that, and then I'm going to flip that over and have that. So that's our card that we're going to be doing. So I've got scrap, as you can see, and that's fine, because we need to do a bit of colouring. So I've taken our raccoons, badgers, I don't know what they are. Now normally I would colour them in grey, because that's what I think they are, but I don't have any greys. I'm waiting for mine to come back. Just put that in there. Actually, let's keep our fingers crossed that mine... I just noticed that I had some smoky slate, so let's use some smoky slate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dark smoky slate, and I might just bring the camera down a fraction while I'm doing this. Yes, we did. We had a wonderful time with Stu. It was lovely catching up. And you too should not have done what you did, so thank you for that. There we go. That looks, I hope that's close enough for everybody to see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my dark smoky slate, and I'm just going to come from the bottom in flicking motions, and I'm just going to take the line of this hedgehog badger fur, just going to take the line and pop that in there. Just bring up. And I'm only using the fine tip. So you can see just the fine line of the product. I'm only done that side at the moment because we've got to do this before it dries. So I'll come in here and I'm going to, again with the flicking motion, I'm going over the dark but extending my light. And if you like colouring, there's a couple of great people to follow on Facebook. There's Alyssa Tilsner, who does some beautiful work, and her page is called Blends and Beyond. So it's worth thinking about if you're interested in colouring. Did I get an 8? Yes, I did. There was no way I was letting him have both of them. Come on, got to have something. See, he ate the last lot on me. So in the circular motion, I'm just going to go around over all of the other 2 layers, and I'm just bringing it out. And this is to allow the colour to blend. Okay, so you can see that there. It's nicely blending. So I'm going to now take the dark again, and I'm going to work on the other side of this little fella. And I'm just going to come around the nose, because that's going to be shadowy, under the arm, under the hand and the arm, and then the belly down here. Just drawing a line on this one because we haven't got the fur to worry about on this particular page. So again, I'm going to do exactly the same process that I did with this first one, and that's just slowly taking the light in a circular motion, coming out from the dark, extending the dark out. I'll just go around his little hand, extend that out. Just because you've gone dark there and it's not really where it is, it pays to make sure that you colour it in. So now I'm going to colour, oh, this one's a bit squeaky. So you can see, hello Michael, welcome. Welcome to my class. I'm doing a little bit of colouring today. Now, my ladies, for those of you who are watching, please follow Michael. Michael is an extraordinaire when it comes to his card making. So he is brilliant. And I'm very proud to say that he's a friend of mine. So welcome, Michael. So I've extended that. So I'm going to take the thick end of the blend, and I'm going to go right from the edge in a circular motion. And it looks like my thick end is a bit dry, so I better go back to the thin end. So again, right from the other end, we're going to go, oh, don't tell me I'm going to run out. This is what I didn't want to happen. I might have to do the other one in a different colour. Here I was thinking I was going to be smart. This is probably why it was squeaking on me. And I'm not going to get too much further because I'm going to leave that one. And I'll go with crumb cake. Take 2. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen when you're live, isn't it? Right. Let's start again. Here I was when I spotted them. I thought, oh, I can use them. But no. And the reason I know it's not very good, because if you look, you can see the colouring. It's just leaving too much white marks. So I'm not going to worry about that. We will go with the same process. So we're going back over it again. So please excuse me, everyone, with that. So we're going to go and flip this around. And doing hedgehog, we're going to do him in brown. Is he a hedgehog or is he a raccoon? I don't know. Oops, not the thick end, the thin end. Colour this in. Oh, it's squeaky, squeaky. These are new, so I don't know why they're squeaky. Anyone else had trouble with squeaky blends? See you, Jacinta. Have fun at work. Thanks for popping in. Okay. Then I've got an old one, and I've marked the old one, but I want the thick end of the old one. And the reason I want to use the thick end of the old one, because there's still enough in there, and I'm not wasting it. So I'm just going to come through it with the thick one, go over my line to create that effect, and then just extend it a little bit, which is what I was doing with the grey. So you can see that's nicely blended. So I'll bring that one forward that you can have a look how nicely that is blended in. Now I'll go to the other side of the body like we started before, and I'm just going to go around the nose, and this time I'm just doing a little tiny, not too heavy, just a little bit on it. And always turn your paper. Always remember that your paper can go around, so it makes it easier for you, not twisting yourself. So I've just got a little bit of a line there. Use my good fine tip, and I'm going to go over, blending the dark into the light, because I want a bit of light colour in there. And we just come in through here. And then I'm going to take my old light with the blend in. That's the wrong end. No wonder nothing was happening, because it was nothing in there. All the ends, just going to come around, pick up the colour in here, pick it up, and then I'm just going to fill in a circular motion, just going to fill up. And because I've had a little bit of dryness there, I think you'll find that that will actually dry a little bit lighter because of it. So I'm going to take my dark, and I'm going to very carefully put some dark at the top here, go over the dark lines that I've got here, and I'm going to leave this centerpiece open and white. And then I'm just very carefully colouring in this part of this one. So we've got one done. How cute is that? Like, let's face it, so easy. So there you go, nice and simple. I'm just going to add a little bit of dark to his tail, because that's under his body, and then just there on his foot. So now I'm going to repeat the process for this one. And I'm going to flick, following the fur. I have to watch Alyssa one day to see how she does her what do you call it? Hair, like fur. Fur's the word I was looking for, not hair. So just with the fine tip pen, very carefully curl that around. Adding that colour coming through, giving it some saturation point, taking my thick end, coming through over the two layers that I've done to create that third layer. And I might as well colour this little tail in. And there's that. So it's nice and smooth, nice transition. Okay, we're going to go again just under the arm here. And even though we did a bit of shadow there, I'm just going to put a tiny bit on this one. And the only reason for that is because they're joined together. And then we'll just put a little bit under the arm here. And I think that will do for that one. So I'll take the thin and we'll do exactly the same as we did before. We're going to a circular motion, just extending that colour out. Extending it down in here. Extending this bit out here, around the hand. And then I'll get my old one and use the thick end, and I'll just bring his hand in there and just go over this ever so carefully. There we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of dark down here because that's the inside of this one's leg. And again, I'm going to add those pieces over the top here. And I'm going to come on the top of his head and do this. As I said, I've had a lot of fun playing with this one, and I'm so glad that I decided to get it. I fell in love with it on stage when the beautiful Angela from New Zealand, I can't think of her surname, but Angela demonstrated it, and yeah, I just fell in love with it straight away. It was so nice. So now I've got the dark basic black, and I'm just going to colour the noses, because most animals have got black noses. There we go. There it is. All done. So as you can see, and this colour will change even after, oops, get it back in camera. The colour will change as it dries. So it takes a while. I've known that I have coloured it and then looked at it and thought, oh, I need to do some more work, but then left it and come back to it and found the colour has completely changed as it's dried. And as you can see, you'll see all the layers underneath. And that's why it's good. And I pity I screwed it up and threw it in the bin, but I was mucking around with colours this morning and I just had a scrap of cheap cardstock. And boy, it didn't blend. The colours weren't the same. Not like Stampin' Up. So before I cut out, there's going to be enough room on this bit of paper. I'm going to stamp sending birthday hugs. So I'm going to stamp that on there because we're going to die cut that out. And we'll pop that away. Just get my chamois, give my blocks a clean. Now, if you're wondering why I've got two chamois, I sort of use them like we do with the Stampin' Scrub, even though I haven't got the spray. So I just use one to take off the excess ink, and we all know that sometimes you don't always get it. But I thought that's my cleaning one. So I have the two. And I've had them, actually when I think of it, you know, you'll find that this particular one I've had since Dot. It's gone through the wash. Looks pretty black. Goes through the wash so many times. This is a newer one, but yeah, that's ever since they've come out, and I'm trying to remember how long ago that was. It's been a while, and it's been used really well. So I'm going to get my little mini, and I'm going to get my scissors, my snips. Otherwise, he's not going to fit into my page. Trim that. Bye-bye. I'll get rid of that one. You know what they say, I should have stuck with my plan. Now, guess what? I've finally changed my, what's the name? Because this one, let's face it, look at it. Even got some cracks happening in it. But I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to scrub it and clean it. But it's also good if I want to use some inks and colours, and I can use that as a palette. So something worth thinking about. It's just well worth it on that point. And what I do when I get a new one, that's my old top plate. And I'll put a new top plate. So I'll use this one till it gets to the stage of the other one. And then I'll switch it around again. And this way you get more use out of your plates. Okay, Michael, we will chat soon. Right. Take my dies, and I'm going to get the die. I'm going to line it up and pop him back there. I like to use a little bit of washi tape. Got that much washi tape, I might as well use it up, mightn't I? So I'll pop that in there. Okay, Cherry, catch you later. Thank you for watching. So I'll take that off, and there's my piece. So I'll take that away, pop that back on there, and now I'm going to do the sentiment. Now the sentiment's longer than what I want, the piece, so I'm going to line it up with the flagged end at the word hugs, and I will take that down. And then I'm going to run that through. So just because a die is long, it doesn't mean that you have to have a long sentiment. Ooh, crack, crunk. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the washi tape. And I'm going to turn it around, putting it into the grid of the die. Take that off. So when you've got it right, you'll feel it snug in there. And I pop that there just to hold it in place and run that through. And there we go. We have, take that carefully off. There we go. Whoops. There is our small die. So when you see the size of the die to what I've done, you can see where it's at. So I'll take that away, and my plates. I'll bring that camera up a little bit again. Oops, sorry about my hand underneath. There we go, that's better. So I'll put that away. So there's my pieces. So we've done all the work for this card. We've cut it out, we've done everything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start gluing. I'll leave that piece over there because that's my centerpiece. So I'm going to glue my pattern paper. And I've used the stripes, but if you wanted to use the leaves, you could. I personally felt they were a little bit overpowering for the amount of detail that was going on the page. And then I've got the stripe. And then just move it into place. So I hope everyone's been keeping warm today because it hasn't been the warmest of days. We haven't had a lot of rain. Looking outside at the moment, there's sunshine, but I know it's freezing out there. Okay, so I'll pop that in, leaving a small border all the way around. It's a relatively easy card, just the work is in the cutting and in the colouring. Okay, then I'm going to attach this piece to my white. Now, if you're using different paper than the in-colour paper, as long as you've got 3 different pieces, that will work for your card. So I'm going to pop that in there. In the border. Now this glass mat, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but it was only available originally for demonstrators. but it's now available for everyone. So please, if you want one, jump online to get one because they are fabulous. You can do so much. Okay, so line that up, making sure your white lines up across the top. And that has moved. Thankfully, for Tombow glue. Come on, lift up. I must have put it down too quickly. And the other one's decided to move too. Well, that's not very nice. So I'll stick this one down again. And worry about, lay that one down. Well, let's put it this way. I'm on live, showing you how things move and shift. This green piece is throwing me because it's crooked. Just carefully lift that off. And that's the beauty of Tombow. It does give you a bit of time. And yes, I'm making a bit of a mess here at the moment. And I very carefully lift this off without tearing too much, because I'm going to be able to cover it anyway. So just, yeah, I don't know why that lifted for some unknown reason. Yes, it's taken a bit of paper, but I'm going to be gluing back over the top of that, so that's not going to matter. I'll be able to hide it. Just get my fingers, because there are like glue everywhere. So yes, I don't know why that moved. I probably didn't give it enough time to dry. And we all know that Tombow is the glue that does not set straight away, which is why I like it. I can do things with it. So I'm going to pop that back on there, making sure it's nice and straight. There we go. Nice and straight, back on there, and you wouldn't know that I peeled it off. So I'm just going to sit the glass block on it for the moment because that has been done. So this time I'm going to use the reverse, and I will wait until it's dry. So pop that on. Give that a little bit of time to dry this time. So we're going to pop that on there. And give it a good firm press before I do anything else so that I know that it's secure. And then I'm going to pop it on this piece. Hello, Lucia. Welcome. Hello, how's Perth? I bet it's nice over there. There we go. Allow that to adhere before moving it, not like before. Right, that's it. Now I want to put this here on there. Now I'm going to do the John Visiton trick. This great big tip that he has given me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out where I want it. And first of all, I'm going to put a piece of Post-it note there just to hold that in place. Then I'm going to flip it over, and this is John's little trick. And I have used it ever since I saw him do it, and I recommend it to anyone. So you put your Post-it note, butt it with your cardstock, and then you can lift it off. So that other Post-it note was only holding it in place. You can lift it off, and I know I've got to put glue just into this spot here. So John, this has been an absolute game changer. It's been a great little saver for me. So I'll now pop that back. Line that up. and just line up the paper. And I went very crooked there. And there's the glue. Today has been a day where I'm doing more mistakes than anything else. But you'll be able to see it, what not to do. Okay, so there's that. So what I want to do is I'm going to pop that, and I forgot to add my ribbon that I wanted to do, and I wanted it under there. Well, it's going to go over the top this time. So I'm going to take this gorgeous sheer ribbon. It's 1/2 an inch or 1.3 centimetres, but it has this beautiful bit of silver. So normally I would tuck it under and leave just little bits like that and then do it. But because I've missed it today, I've made too many mistakes and too many things not quite right for me. But I'm keeping it real for you. I'm going to come up. I'm going to flip that over. And I'm going to make my bow. Oh dear. Pull a little bit more down. It's got it. Let's try that again. So I'm making a bow live on air, and any other time it takes me 2 seconds for the bow to go together, and today it's not doing it at all. I'm going to try something else to see if it'll hold. I'm going to double knot it. I think that's my problem. It keeps moving on me, and I think if I get that double knot in there before it has time to move, there we go, that's got it better. And now I can do it. Now I always leave it on the roll so I don't have any wastage. I mean, I cut a big strip of ribbon and then find that I throw half of it away. So if you want to save your ribbon, this is the best way to go about it. See here how I've got all this? Take that back. And there's my bow. I'm going to sort of bring that. Needs to be a little bit smaller. I'm trying to turn the bow. No, he doesn't want to turn. Okay. There we go. Never had so much trouble with bows before, but yeah, these things happen. Trim off the ends. And I'm only throwing away that little piece of ribbon. Right, boy, oh boy. Now I'm going to take my badgers, raccoons, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on there, just to make sure he's nice and secure. Take my pick tool, flip him up, and I'm going to pop him on, and I'm going to sit him about the centre of the card. Just sit him there like so. Now this card, this sentiment I'm going to put like so. I might even come across a little bit off the page because I've got room to do that. So I'm going to put a sentiment, put a glue dot, a dimensional. I think I need a glass of wine. Maybe that's my problem. Haven't had one. And then I will drop that in. Pop a little bit of glue on this end. Because remember, when you've got dimensionals, if I put a dimensional on there, then it's going to go like that. It's going to bend. I'd have to put 2 dimensionals on that side to make it stand up. And I don't think it needs 2. So I'll pop that there. There he is. How sweet is this one? I think he's a little cutie. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to use Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels. Now, aren't they just delightful? They truly win me over, these ones. So I'm going to pop. This is always the hardest, where to pop them. Put a large one over here. And then I'll pop a medium one over there. And then a little one over there. So you can see I'm keeping that shape there. Now that piece that we had here before, this is a little trick. I should have done this before I put my, what's the names on. So I'm going to sit that like so, and I've got the ribbon, so that's going to be a bit tricky. So I've laid that on there, and I'm going to get the glue and cover it with glue. And keeping that together, I just threw something in the bin then, and I have no idea what slid off the table. And then I'm going to take my card, flip it over, and there it is, nicely in the middle. Now it needs something inside there, doesn't it? I think I might take the little hearts. Oh, I was going to take the pick tool that I set for me. That was smart. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to get my Shy Shamrock. And I'll put some hearts in the corner. Just like so. Clean up my stamp. And then I might get my Wink of Stella. And I'm going to colour in those hearts with some Wink. Just give it a little bit, and then just tap some Wink onto the page to give it a little bit of glitter. And there we go. There is our card. So get it in the camera, make sure I get it right. So there's our card, and there it is there. So it's quite a cute card. Now this was the original one that I made. And you'll see the difference with this one was that I tucked the ribbon underneath. So there's the 2 of them using 2 different colours of the in colour. But did I stop there? No, I had a ball with this set. So I used the badges or raccoon, and there I've put the flowers. And this is a piece of the Countryside Lace DSP. And I did the walruses. I've got them there, and that I've used a piece of the Thoughtful Journeys paper. Oops, get it back in line. Thoughtful Journeys paper. Used some versatile hearts, and there I've used Wink of Stella and the hearts. So I don't know if you can see the Wink of Stella on there. I'll just flip it up a bit. Hopefully you can see it. It's a bit hard on camera, unfortunately. And then this one was the one that came to my mind when I first saw it. And it did take me a full day to do this one. So I've done 6 little hamsters, coloured them in, and then lined them up around. I've cut a circle, and then I found this Full of Life paper, which I thought was just great. So I coloured the circle to match the colours in here, and I've done that. And then inside I've just got a little hamster floating around saying, let's celebrate. Sorry, I'm out of camera again. I am so sorry about that. One day I'll get this camera right. So there's the cards. So as I said, this bundle is one that you can have a great time with. And it's one you could send to anyone. And as I said, even doing it in black and white for kids is ideal. This camera's moved a bit again. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Try and get it right for you to see. So, there it is. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope I will see you again next week on Monday at 1:30, where we'll create something new. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.